What's going on, guys? We're here today in Planetbase. Kind of wanted to see if this is something that would go well on the channel. We're starting off in the basic planet, and then we're going to work our way through to the harder planets, which get very interesting. We're going to be starting off with 7 engineers, or not 7 engineers, 7 people, and 2 bots. Now, not all these people are the same. They're different. Not all the bots are the same. They're different, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But first, I'm gonna go ahead and place down the airlock. We'll get it placed down close enough to this to where I can place my first mine off of it. Keeps resources down. Then I'm gonna go ahead and place my oxygen generator so that I can get oxygen going, and they have a place to go. We're gonna get energy and water, and that's what we need, obviously, to run everything, and the oxygen generator. So we're gonna place a battery because I'm gonna be running a solar battery mix, or a solar battery, I guess you would call it. I'm not going to be running um, wind turbines. I'm going to be placing all this stuff in big sizes because I don't want to have to place multiple sizes pretty often. I wanted to be able to place a couple big ones, keep it up for a little while, and then go from there. So as you see, we have a big solar panel, big battery, and big water extractor going. Now, once we get those things, we can start focusing on getting the canteen built, which is their cafeteria. We can also focus on getting things like the farm built, which is right here. And I'm going to place the farm, I think, right behind it. And probably all the way back here to get rid of this little mound here. Now, we got those two placed. We'll let them catch up on it a little bit. But I want to get this processor going here soon. Because that's what allows us to get our basic building blocks to this society. Now we'll place the food place, or the food machine, and the water fountain, and the table so they can eat and drink and make meals out of it. Place a couple plants for decoration, keep them a little bit happy, because plants do keep them a little bit happy, which is always good because that means they're more productive. As you see, the large battery cell over there, it's got some charge in it, and that's what's going to be holding us up through the night. I don't have to, on this planet, I can use the wind turbines, but I just prefer just going with a solar battery base, making sure I have enough solar power and enough batteries to hold the base through the night, and then the solar will charge it all the batteries up and run the base during the day. Now we're going to be getting the dorm all set up, and I'm going to be placing it on this side over here for a couple of reasons that you'll see later down the road. Dorms only allow one connection point. This is going to be where the mine's going to be placed, and this is why I have the airlock placed so close to the cliff there, and so it takes less resources and to get a mine near the cliff, because you have to have a building nearby the mine in order for it to work. Go ahead and get the farm going here with some food, and then some starch, high production stuff for right now in one type, just to get things up and rolling, and we'll start getting into the details later. Processors for iron and bioplastic will be going in here as well, and I want to get those placed down so I can start getting the basic building blocks. Kind of just let everything build up, let all the engineers weld everything, materials get out to where it needs to go to. We'll start getting the foundation for the lab, and right there, all laid out and all good to go. Now we'll prioritize the processing room, whatever you want to call it. We'll get it prioritized so that they build the things inside of it and then they start using it before they do anything else, really. At least the workers, because that's a worker-based building. And again, that has to deal with biologists, workers, engineers, all that type of stuff. So the dorm's built. So the dorm's good. They're bringing materials to the lab, and they've got the processing room all built up and ready to go. The lab is going up as we speak, actually. Look at that little guy go wild. Go in here and we'll place down our synthetic food processors. This lets synthetic meat go, lets different varieties of food go in and not malnutrition. Later on when those get built, we'll set up the different types because you got chicken, beef, and pork. We'll get those all set up. But I want to get a control center going here soon, and I want to also get a landing pad. So we're going to go ahead to the landing pad. It's not going to work over here, is it? No. We'll get it over here, then that'll work, I guess. Don't want to get it too close to the next mine. That allows more colonists to come in, and traders, and then eventually when we get the starport, visitors and stuff. But that's stuff all down the road. See, now I'm going through here and setting up the different types of food. I have one set for chicken, one set for beef, and one set for pork. We'll get the beds in the dorm set up so they don't have to sleep on the floor anymore, and they'll wake up a little bit happier every day. Because who loves to sleep on a hardwood floor? Not me. Or whatever floor that would be. Prioritize the farm real quick, so start getting the food in and out of that room. They're building up the airport. Or the landing pad, I mean. Same thing as an airport, though, basically, right? Okay, so I'm going to turn off traders, and then my colonists I'm going to keep on, and I have them set to a certain preference at the moment. And there's my status and my prestige. This is where that settings for the colonists come in. I was just telling you about. I have my main workers, then I have my main people, my workers, my biologists, my engineers, and my medics, and then my guards. And then I have my bots. It shows me the different types. I have 2 in total. I have 1 construction and 1 carrier bot, and then 0 drillers. And there's the rest of the food. Food, or not, where was I even going with that one, guys? Workers, colonists, whatever you want to call them, to start off with, probably colonists. They have different types, they do different things. Like the control center here will be ran mainly by the guards, and the guards protect the base from intruders and stuff like that. And then they'll have workers and engineers in for other stuff. The medics use the med bay here, obviously, and they also use the lab. There's a thing in the lab that they use, and it's the medical supply maker. It takes your medical flour and turns it into medical supplies, and then medical supplies go to the med bay. The medics in there then heal anybody who's sick, and that if people get sick, then they don't want to work, and they don't. It's just a big whole problem. If they're not working, then they're not. They're dropping in whatever they're doing. So if they're a worker, they're dropping in carrying stuff. They're dropping processing down the basic building blocks. And then if you lose a biologist, well, then you're dropping food. Okay, so the med bay is getting welded up by that constructor bot. That's what the constructor bots do. Carrier bots will carry stuff. We're going to go ahead and place these beds in here so people have beds to come and lay on when they get sick, and then obviously the med cabinet, which stores the med packs. Carrier bots will carry items to and from places, or from and to places, and the driller bots will work in the mine. They'll just sit there and drill. So then you'll have a driller bot drilling, a carrier bot to carry it and place it wherever it goes, and then you'll have workers take it from there or whatever to do more difficult tasks. Then you have engineers, which will weld stuff up, fix stuff, all kinds of different things. They'll also make your guns, your spares, and a couple of, I think, your semiconductors and your robots and crap like that. But they also, like I said, they weld stuff. So the constructor bot does the mining tasks of welding stuff and repairing the solar panels and stuff, while the engineer will do all the other fancy stuff. Now, if you don't have any bots, then the colonists have to pick up that extra slack. So it's always good to have a lot of bots helping out your colonists so they can focus on more difficult tasks meant for people, really, or that only people can do. Because a bot can't process. That's the food maker and the water fountain in the table in the cafeteria. The water fountain actually does give them water and keeps them hydrated, and the food maker, they'll take like the meat and they do the different types of meat and the different types of crops and go in there and turn it into salads or sandwiches or steaks or whatever it happens to turn into when it goes into there, what they decide. Here's the bioplastic processor. It generates bioplastic by starch. It'll take starch from the farms, and that's your iron processor. It takes stuff from the mines over there, like the ore. It takes the ore from the mines, processes it, turns it into iron, and that's your basic building blocks that you need to build the base up. As you can see, everything I've built had required bioplastic and metal, and that's all they required. And sometimes they require just metal or bioplastic, sometimes they require all of it. Usually, though, there's always iron involved. Here's my spare machine. This is what an engineer will work on or work with when it gets built, and it'll create spares to repair my battery and my solar panel and anything else that gets destroyed by meteors or just over time due to deterioration. It'll use the spares to come out and fix it. We start off with 10 spares already from the ship, the drop ship, but the machine, we're going to get the machine going as soon as we can because meteors do tend to hit the base a lot and solar panels do deteriorate quite a bit. So it kind of just keeps everything nice and fixed and clean and making sure that we're getting optimal energy production. So that's a colony ship that just landed. It brought in one person just because of the status of the colony right now. It brought just one person in, and it was a worker, which is good. It's not what I preferred, but it's still a good one to have. The settings that I have, the filter for the colonists that come in, it'll adjust to what I want it to be anyways, so I'm not too worried. And it'll do all of that, take care of all of it before we even get it up to 20 people. So once we get up to 20 people, that oxygen generator cannot provide enough oxygen for everybody. Its limit is 20 people. So we're going to get up to 20 people at the base, sit at 20 people for a little bit, then we're going to jump up to 30 people. So we're going to get another oxygen generator and that can hold up 30 more people, but we're going to get up to 30 people, sit there for a little bit, then we're going to change our colonist filter settings to filter in some guards. The reason being we want guards at that point is because then you start running the risk of intruders. And intruders will come in and shoot up your base, and you don't want that. The guards will help prevent or keep as many people safe as possible. And we may get guards a little bit sooner than that anyways. I'm gonna go ahead and place down the storage so we can get all the items cleaned up and they have an actual place to go where they're all placing when something creates it, places in the storage, and which allows that to be ground one. And when you have things requiring items out of a certain place or just anywhere, it goes from that place to the closest place that needs work unless you have it prioritized, and it goes to the prioritized item. So if you have everything coming out of the storage, then everything's kind of sort of, it's like the storage is a ground zero, so then it will kind of run into everything efficiently, and everything will run into it efficiently to a certain extent. Now, when you still need to prioritize, and you'll still have different distances between different buildings that require different materials, so you just kind of gotta. It's good to have a storage to make sure that your items are getting put somewhere and they're getting kept somewhere, organized. Storage will be an issue later down the road once we start getting the colony to thrive a whole lot. So the next ship that we got was a biologist, which again is really good, in fact. See, there's my power. Where I want to see how I'm doing for the night with the batteries at. There's the water storage, which I don't have yet. And then here's your oxygen. As you can see, the oxygen generator has 9 people and can only hold 20 people. just want to let you guys know that this first video is going to be a little bit more of explaining and going into depth on what is happening in this game, because it can get really confusing. A lot of progress probably won't be made in this video, but in the upcoming videos and stuff like that, if this does do good, will be more progression based and getting stuff done. I'll still explain as we go along because there's still a little bit more I've got to explain, but it won't be as much. So just want to let you guys know that this is not going to be a constant thing in all the videos. So we're getting another colonist ship. This time we have, again, one more person, and we'll see what he is in a little bit. So he was another worker, it looks like, which is still good. Like I said, at this point we kind of do want a lot of workers because we don't have a whole lot of bots yet. We're not up to bots yet. And there's my settings I was telling you about. I have it set to, I think that says, I have it set to 35% now, 30%, 30%, 10%, and 5% for all of those. And now I want to start getting this setting in place now. So we have guards for intruders, we have all that stuff. We're not up to 20 people yet, but that's why the guards are only still set down as low as they are. But I do want to start getting some guards in. Not too many though, but just enough to keep the base safe for when stuff happens. Here is the worker. He was sick. As you've seen, the medic was repairing him, getting him all up to prime shape so he can go back to work. I'm gonna start getting some TVs in here for these guys. Nice big curvature TVs. You know, the 4K experience, everything. And get the nice expensive stuff out in space, right? Get them up and running so it keeps them happy. They're still working on the storage. It's going to be a little bit of a slow process. Here's another colonist, and I like to just see every time what we get, and it looks to be a medic, I think. So we're just going to kind of overview everything for a little bit. We're kind of just keep an eye on everything, making sure everything's running like it should, everything's getting taken care of, everybody's at least somewhat happy. Right now, they're not going to be extremely happy because they don't have anything like a bar or exercise equipment or trees and stuff like that to keep them happy. We just basically have that what's in that cafeteria there to kind of keep them happy in their dorm to allow them to sleep. Soon we'll upgrade it to we'll upgrade it to a cabin, which is a better version of the dorm. But it doesn't hold as many people in it, which is okay, but it has more comfortable beds and makes them happier, which is something that we're gonna need. Because who wants to be stuck in a small little space like this in space and not be able to go anywhere? Not me. So, we got another colonist ship, that's good. Got one more person. As you guys can see, probably figured out what everybody means now. Kind of just sit here, overview some stuff as it goes along. And like I said, it probably will be a little bit of a boring video as progression and stuff like that goes. But just bear with me because this is a very complicated game, but simple game at the same time. So there's a little bit to explain so you guys get it. I don't want you guys to get lost. Like, oh, Shadow, what do you mean you need this? I thought you need this to do this. You guys will probably still get there maybe, but I just want to make sure you have the information if you want it. So we're going to be working on it going into night here. So this is night is a good time to see if how many batteries it's going to hold through the night and if you've got enough power to maintain the night. So whether you have wind turbines in there or you just have battery or whatever you have, it's a good time to see. Now we have a few more, or we just got another colonist ship, and it gave us another person, or a couple people. And as we go through here, you can kind of see where they went, or what they are. Here's a sandstorm. So this is what the control center is for. It lets me to put out a code yellow, which is what you're seeing now with the yellow borders. That's a code yellow, and there's also a code red. Code yellow is the sandstorm right here. Now, code red is for intruders, which we will see later down the road, not in today's episode, but control center is used for this. This keeps them inside. Code yellow means stay inside, you can work normally inside, medics will pull longer hours, stuff like that. Just basically keeping doors shut, everybody inside, no one gets hurt or damaged. And the sandstorms can last a minute. They can be very hurtful for a all solar based energy like I have during the day. But if you have enough solar panels, keeping everything charged and running, you have enough power coming in, you'll be fine. If you had wind turbines, this would be a great time to have wind turbines. A great time. Now sandstorm's done, we can turn off the code yellow, we're good. We're going to come in the control center here and place down some security consoles. And then there's your radio console, there's your telescope console, and your gun safe. We'll worry about that stuff a little bit later, but I want to start getting security consoles placed there, because that means the security guards that are coming in, or the guards that are coming in, are actually stationed right there next to the entrance. So when an intruder does come in, they detect the intruder, they can literally run right there and meet the intruder at the oxygen generator, so minimal casualties occur. That's what I'm going to be running with through this whole entire base, is keeping control centers near every exit with at least 1 or 2 guards there stationed. Probably 3 guards or 4 guards stationed there. And each exit, because you can have, once we get up there enough, we can have like 3 or 4 intruders come in at once, and that can be very devastating if you don't have enough guards stationed there. Otherwise, they have to run from wherever the control center is to where the intruders are, and it gets nasty. Really nasty. So we got another colonist ship inbound, or we had another colonist ship come in with another person. If you guys want to see what came in, there you go. So now we kind of just sit and we wait a little bit longer. So now we're coming out of night, we're heading into day. Still kind of just letting the colony sit here and idle, get a few more people. We're monitoring the colonists that are coming in. So as you see, the storage just got built. They're starting to bring all the food and items that were just laying around in. We're going to turn off the landing permissions for colonists and turn on the trading landing permissions to stop colonists from coming in, because we're at 18 people. I don't want to get another ship in, because I could go over that and cause the colony to just fail, because I can't get a oxygen generator built that fast. But I do want traders coming in, because now this is the point where we can sit here and grow the colony even more, let it gain on some more materials, let the spares gain, all of that great stuff. So here we're going to go ahead and place another farm down to split the starch and the food production up. I need a little bit more food coming in, and it's time to start dividing my crops up a little bit. So once they build up that biodome, I'll start putting in food-oriented food in there. I'll then get rid of the food that's in the current bio lab or bio farm thing, and biodome, there we go. And I'll get rid of that food, get rid of it, and then replace it with the medical flowers that are that are needed for the medical supplies. Um, Look at all those little guys carrying all that ore to the storage. That's cool. As you can see, it takes workers and bots, carrier bots, to transfer all of that. And there's still stuff outside that they're bringing in, which is really great that they're bringing it in, but they're also going to be bringing materials down to here. Now, when we start building away from the base, we got to start watching their oxygen. You can see it's that one bar with the O2 on it. As you can see, the yellow bar is his water level, and the oxygen's right next to it. The farther that the airlock is from whatever they're building is a higher chance that they're going to run out of oxygen, due to the fact that depending on the size of the building, because every material that they put down takes a little bit of time to weld when he's welding it. And when they're carrying it out, they got to be able to run it, drop it off, and make it all the way back. So you can't have your airlocks too far from whatever you're building, because then it gets too ridiculous. And yeah, so later on, I may be placing down an airlock down there. I want to keep an eye on my water here and my power, because I am expanding the base and I need to keep an eye on them. And I'm going to be having an issue here in a little bit with water and energy, because I'm going to need oxygen and water and power for this next biodome. So I'm going to have to work on getting water and energy. However, at the rate I'm making these materials, I think I'm going to have a little bit of a rough few nights with all of that. So here's our first trader ship. This is how it looks like. We have a constructor bot here, and if I buy him for like 370, it looks like, or whatever that is, and then I can't really sell him because you just don't sell them. And there's other bots. There's a driller bot and a carrier bot in there. Well, there's a patent for a constructor, a patent for the driller, or not a driller, patent for a driller bot itself, and a carrier bot. Medical supplies. See, you trade stuff to him. He gives you coins, but you can use whatever you're trading to buy. You can literally just trade items, or you can trade items just for the coins. You can trade coins just for items. It depends. We don't have enough materials here to buy anything or to get really anything. I'm gonna probably try to get this carrier bot here and see if I can't wiggle it out, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to. So I don't want to take too much food from him and all that, but I do need another carrier bot to help out. It'd be nice to have that driller bot too, but we're just gonna go with the carrier bot. We'll use all of our medical supplies and some food. We're making a decent amount of that food right now, or we have enough stored away, at least for right now, to kind of just support this carrier bot. This carrier bot will help out way more than what we need that food for and those medical supplies. Now, see, as you can see, that bot right there, he's in decent condition. That's how the solar panels will get, and an engineer will take and just repair him once he finally, gets fully broken. It will repair him. Now, he can get broke or irreversibly, which means he can't be fixed, and he means the bot's gone completely. That's always sad days, but I'd rather it be a bot than a person, because people are a little bit more important. Bots are still really important for the minute tasks that they can automate and get rid of for the workers and colonists. So here we're just waiting for this biodome to be built. It just needs one more iron, so we'll go to our iron processor and see where it's at. So it's currently in the process of making an iron. As you can see, he's got 3 ore in that machine, because that's all that machine can hold. So he has 3 queued up, ready to be built into iron. It's only a 1-to-1. It takes 1 ore, 1 worker to make 1 iron. Now, it doesn't mean it dissolves the worker or uses the worker. It just means it needs a worker to process it. As you see, he just processed 1. Now, a bot or someone will come and take it. As you can see, we'll take it from the machine as he continues to work on it. And this is why bots are really helpful, because he continues to work on that machine while the bot will take the material over here. Now, he's a constructor bot, so he'll go ahead and weld it as well. He'll get it all taken care of, welded, and then I can start getting this biodome ready. However, I need to be very careful because, like I said, water and energy are going to be a big issue once I start placing these down. We're going to go ahead and place food, all food in this one. We're going to have two different types of food, though. We're going to have tomatoes and lettuce. Tomatoes to replace tomatoes. I'm going to take out of the other one, and lettuce for more food incoming, more variety. But we're just going to start splitting up our farms with what each one is growing, so eventually we're going to have our own little farm for medical supplies, our own little farm for starch, and our own little supplies for food. But it just kind of helps so that we can, if we're running low on medical supplies and not food, we can prioritize medical supplies, get them back up and going, so on and so forth. We've got another trader in. I would really like to get some more med kits, but I don't really want to trade that much food or anything right now to get him, so we're just going to send him off because we really don't need him at the moment. We'll keep an eye on our food and water, and we're going to need some energy because we're getting critical power here. It's going to see it's getting down to 1,000. We're going to need some more stuff here. We're going to need more people, we're going to need more oxygen generators, we're going to need more power and more water. This is where we get into a big mess, because if we grow the base too big before the base's materials are ready for it, then we're going to be stuck waiting for stuff waiting to get the materials for stuff to build, and it's going to take too long, especially when we get in a food crisis or a energy crisis or a water crisis like we're probably about to go into. So we'll let them kind of focus on getting that farm kind of just getting there. We're going to build some more iron in the process so we can get some more water extractors and solar panels and batteries up and running. You see, there's the solar panel grid that's being used and what's getting used. So we're still looking okay. We're still making more than what we're using, but it's not allowing the battery to charge up as fast as I would like it to. Not to mention, one battery apparently isn't going to be enough anymore to carry the base through the night. Go ahead and put the base in a yellow alert here so you guys get to see a second yellow alert for a sandstorm. Keep everybody inside, keep them all working inside, keeping them safe. Me and my buddy are pretty sure that the sandstorms here are really hard on the wind turbines and the solar panels and stuff like that, which I can see. It's just, you have a whole lot of sand coming by your, yeah, it's gonna be nasty. We're going to get rid of these tomatoes now since we have two more plants already built, and I want to start getting in some more medical supplies, or medical plants, medicinal plants. This is the proper name for them. We get those built so we can start getting in medical flour or to produce medical kits to heal the sick. Now, once that gets built, we're gonna run into power issues. We're halfway through the night. This is gonna be great. They should have enough oxygen in their suits and stuff like that to carry them through the night, so I'm not too worried about oxygen. Just mainly worried about water, the processing, because once the power goes out, you're not processing enough crap or making enough stuff to continue the night. I'm gonna go ahead and get this battery in, so at least if the solar panel it can work on charging just a little bit more of that second battery. The problem is now we gotta wait for them to build it. We gotta get the water extractor in here and up and running for the farm, so we can start the farm up. We'll prioritize the battery so that way that battery gets built and we can start getting that little bit of extra power in while we're waiting for everything else. And it'll help everything run. As you see, since we don't really have a whole lot of power or water coming in, we're not having oxygen get into the right amount of oxygen to run into the base. So we're gonna have to shut off this biodome for right now, which means we're having little to no food coming in now. We have the synthetic meat and we have the starch. The starch plants will create a little bit of food and starch. So we're really going to be in a food deficit here in a second if we're not careful. But I need to figure out what's oxygen generator does not want to put oxygen in the base. It's getting water and food. We have energy, we have water for it. The biodome, I think it's going to take it a little bit to spread throughout the base, so we'll just have to see. Here's what the traders got this time. We definitely need some of those and those, but I don't really got anything here that I want to trade them. I don't want to trade them food. Well, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're not going to put ourselves in that food deficit position. Oops, didn't mean to turn all that back on. I don't need to have the control center on at the moment to run the code reds and code yellows, but I don't need it. I don't want it on right now anyways, so it's drawing power, and I can't be having it draw power. So that power's got to get redirected to the solar and water generators. Or solar, the power's got to get directed to the base and the more important needs like the oxygen generator, the water, and like to the water extractor. Water needs to be prioritized to the oxygen extractor, or generator, I mean, gosh, can't English today, too early. So we just kind of want to keep everything to the main priorities running right now, not the side little things. I want to create, at least have some food coming in, so I need to keep power in for that. But we're probably going to run low on power tonight too. Oh, we barely survived. We shut off enough stuff to survive. That is good. That was what I like to see. So we'll just run the base like this until we can get that extra battery built, which, matter of fact, it's getting built right now. So now it's going to start getting energy from the solar panel once the other battery gets charged. Since it was the second battery placed, it's going to get charged last. The last battery placed, it's going to get charged last. Now we'll prioritize the water extractor over there, and we'll place down another large solar panel to make sure that we're getting all of our energy and water needs taken care of. But once we do this, this will allow me to have the sufficient energy and water resources to place another oxygen generator, allowing more people to come in. But in that case, we need more food. So, alright, well, I'm placing the medical bench now. That's what the medics use to create the medical packs. They use the flowers. They put the flowers in there, they process them, and turn them into medical kits. The medical kits then get created for the sick, which we have one sick already. I don't need any more to be sick. I don't want any more to be sick. Storage is filling up nicely, so that means we are making more resources or getting more resources in than we're spending, but it's still a little shy. This guy's got a few things I would like to have, but I won't be able to trade him for it unless maybe food. No, we're just gonna send him off. We don't need that guy. We don't need that clown. That guy thinks he's all cool for bringing in medical supplies and all that cool stuff to the base, but man, we don't need his stuff right now. It's wasting my oxygen. Not really. I mean, kind of really, though. It's at least wasted my energy for causing this airport to be open. Landing pad. I don't know why I call it airport. I guess because ships come from the air. Space, really. I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys in a hyperlapse now, so you guys can see the rest of the video. I just don't want it to be super long video like it already is now. So as we come to the end of the video here, guys, I just want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, share this content, and subscribe to my channel. It'll help out tremendously. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.